Alright, so here we are in Maya, and we've got the 3 sets of geometry that we've already done. We've got our collision meshes, we've got our base mesh that we exported to ZBrush and is our default object or static mesh in the level. We've got the reduced poly version of this static mesh for our low poly mesh in the game. Now what I want to do is import in the OBJ that we exported from ZBrush at subdivision level 4 for a high poly version of this mesh. So I'm just going to go up to File, Import. I'm just going to go up to Data, and we saved as the file name with 1kpoly.obj. And so there we go. Now, one thing with ZBrush is that sometimes when we export out an OBJ file, we can have it split into these sorts of chunks, and we can get around this by changing options in ZBrush. But for now, I'm just going to fix this up in Maya. So I'm just selecting everything, and I don't have everything selected. There we go, and deselecting the collision meshes. So I do have that whole object selected. Now I'm going to come up to Combine and combine this into one object. Now if we look over here, we have 960 faces, or 1920 triangles, and we've got 1300 verts. Now a lot of these are along the edges, so we need to join those up, and so we'll go to Merge Vertices. Click on that, and you'll notice that our verts has now gone down to 1009, and the triangles and faces are the same. So with our merge vertices distance set to 0.01, that will those settings will work for merging those vertices properly. So now I'm just going to select this object, go up to Normals and Soften Edge, and that softens the normals all over this object, and that'll help us in UDK apply our normal map correctly. Now, before we export out, there are a couple of things that I want to do. Firstly, these collision meshes are they're not covering as much of the object as I would like, and so I'm just going to come in here and I'll shift select, because I've got this object selected. I'll shift select. Okay, try that again. Shift select. To swap to the collision meshes, and then I'm going to go to component mode and select faces. I might just switch over to wireframe, and I'm going to select this face, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And these are the interior faces. They're the faces that are going to make contact with the player and stop him coming into the mesh. And so with those selected, I'm going to scale these in. Now I want these to scale towards a middle point, which is going to be around about here, not here, because if I scale from here, it's all going to sort of drag towards this middle here. So in order to reposition my pivot point, I'm going to hold down D, hold down V, and I'm going to click on the green line, and I'm just going to middle mouse wiggle at this point. Then I'm going to, still holding D and V, I'm going to click on the blue line, and I'm going to middle mouse wiggle on these vertices, and I can release D and V now. And so now we have a nice central pivot point to scale to. So just coming into this side here, I might switch shading back on. I can just uniformly scale these towards this middle point, and just sort of a nice best case scenario for those faces, so that they're covering as much as we can. Now, because we were scaling uniformly, we have scaled inwards in this x-axis, so I'm just going to scale that back out just to cover the parts of the mesh that we've left uncovered along these edges here. And so there we go, that's the collision meshes, how I want them.